Alright, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? We're gonna get the stream started in just a second. I'm just posting some links so that people can join from the other socials. Give me 1 second. I got one more link to post. But I see people are already in the chat, so I just figured I'll just turn the mic on now. I'm gonna wait to announce the topics. Give me 1 second. I almost just started doing it while I'm typing, but give me a second. Alright, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. Oh shit. Alright. No need for the glasses. Let's let's get the stream poppin'. So Roger Jackson pleads not guilty to felony and misdemeanor battery charges stemming from his altercation with pro wrestler Syko Stu during a KnokX Pro Academy event on August 23rd. We all know the story. We all know the story. But yes, he pled not guilty, and he's facing up to 7 years in prison for these felony and misdemeanor charges if he's convicted. Also, worth noting, he's due back in court on November 24th. So, what is that, like the day before Thanksgiving? A little bit over a month from now. What up, Hawk? Bro, I feel you, doggy. I feel you. Senior year in what? College or fucking high school? Both are Both aren't easy. But yeah, hell yeah, you're right. Alex is back. Chama survived, and we will discuss that since you're in the chat. But Roger Jackson facing up to 7 years. Here's a little clip of him walking into court today. Let me plug my headphones in. High school. I feel you, brother. All right, check this out.
Today, I know a lot of fans want to know what's running through your mind. I know, especially because you're facing, some charges right now. Do you feel remorseful about what happened? Do you have anything to say to your fans? Thank you, Raja. How do you feel about heading into court today?
So yeah, Raja didn't say shit, but that's him walking into court, all black, dressed for Syko Stu's funeral. Hopefully Raja gets the help he needs because that was really bad. Prayer to Stu. Yeah, Stu got fucked up, but we'll see, bro. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'm so conflicted on this whole matter. I'm honestly so conflicted. It's like, do I think, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Do I think Raja's a danger to society? Meaning, like, if he's just walking around, should people be fearing for their safety? No. Do I think he lost his cool? 100%. 100%. Do I think if Syko Stu never touched him in the first place, this would never happened? 100,000%. Even if, right, because Raja's going to play stupid in this case. But even if Raja in this case acts like, oh yeah, like, that's not pro wrestling. I thought that's what pro wrestling was, right? He's going to play naive. Let me tell you right now, if Syko Stu never did that can over Raja's head, and they still approached Raja, and they're like, listen, go in there, beat up Syko Stu, right, and make it fun for the fans. Raja would not have done that to Syko Stu the way he did it. You feel me? He would have been a lot more cool and calm. So, I say that to say, Raja's not so much of a loose cannon, but he did lose his shit in this unique circumstance. And he did premeditate it a little bit by talking to the chat, getting on the phone. Well, his dad was hyping him up. He didn't premeditate it to his dad, but his dad hyped him up. And then he goes into his chat after the chat heard his call with his dad. And he's being like, oh yeah, my dad will never be able to call me a bitch after this. So some misunderstandings were taking place at the time. Like his dad was calling him a bitch, saying like guys in underwear are fucking with him. In other words, don't take no shit from guys in underwear and tights, right? But his dad didn't know the context. Raja's pissed off. Now his dad's calling him a bitch. There's so many things that went into this. The last part I just said means nothing as far as Raja's conviction. But more so, what we got to focus on is how much does it play into factor Syko Stu starting it? He definitely has to control his anger. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure. Because take aside what you think, right? I'm actually curious about this one. Let me know. I'll even do a poll for this one. Set aside what anybody thinks. Just based off of all the evidence, with the pro wrestling, Syko Stu himself hasn't pressed charges, right? This is being pursued by the state or by the county. So, do you guys think that Raja's gonna get a conviction? Like, how confident are you that Raja will get convicted or found guilty here? Or do you think he'll be found not guilty as he pleaded? Let's go. How long can I make this poll? 100 characters. How confident that Raja is found. Since he pleaded not guilty, let's go. How confident that Raja is found Let's go. Will he be found guilty or not guilty? I'm not asking for your opinions on this one. I'm asking, what do you... not your opinion on whether you think he should be found guilty or not guilty. I want your opinion on whether or not you think a conviction will take place or not. Let's see what you guys think. My vote would be he'll be found not guilty. I think he'll be found not guilty. There's a lot of circumstantial stuff that actually has to take place. Like, if all of a sudden Syko Stu starts cooperating, he's probably going to be found guilty, right? So it's like, how likely is Syko Stu to cooperate? What do you guys think? I'll put my vote in here. He'll be found not guilty. And then obviously, this is just the context of what I'm saying. You know, you have this incident right here. Then the preceding incident was this right here. You know, and that's all she wrote. The following was Syko Stu in the fucking hospital bed. Make of it what you will, but we'll be looking out for the next court date on November 24th to see what happens. Can I look up, like, let's see, like, Chat GPT or something? Let me see. What is the case number for Raja Jackson felony, battery, and misdemeanor battery case? What is the case number for Raja Jackson's felony, battery, and misdemeanor battery case for hospitalizing Syko Stu? If ChatGPT can't fucking... Yes, I do want you to do that. Please dig further in. Yes, please search LA County Court records. Yes, please find the case number. Okay, it's not working. We can't get the case number. But anyway, this is it. This is it. I mean, we can look at some comments. Not guilty, but there's video evidence. Damn, 7 years, though. He deserves 10. Why is there even an option? Shit was on a live stream. Bro thought about power slamming her. Bro definitely guilty. Dude may need some therapy. Shit, man. I hope he doesn't get 7 years. I don't give a fuck if Raja put him to sleep forever. Dude should have kept his hands to himself with all that fake wrestling BS. Let's see what the comments are to this one. I think Charlie Olives will win, Hawk. I think you're in good hands this weekend. Charlie Olives is going to win. He literally said on stream that someone will have to pull him off him. He planned to do what he did. That's that premeditated part. But... shout out Raja, man. Shout out Raja. In other news, this is great. This is great. So Kamzat posted a picture of himself just jumping rope to the Chechen leader. I don't even know what to call him, but he's definitely the leader of Chechnya. Ramzan Kadyrov, and like look at this big old. This is like that South Korea type shit, right? Or North Korea type shit. Kim Jong Un. This guy's like the Russian Kim Jong Un. Hamzat's tiny little belt, his tiny little posters, and then this big old portrait. But this is the interesting part is his fans are like super scared. Like they think that he's being held against his will in Chechnya right now. And he's like being forced to post this shit. The caption says, Hamzat's fans are growing concerned for his well-being after he posted a photo of himself worshipping a portrait of Ramzan Kadyrov while training, leading some to believe he's being held against his will in Chechnya. Look. They go, I pray you get to actually live free one day, my brother. God bless you and your family. 1,600 likes. Imagine being one of the best fighters ever, but having no control over your own life. Genuinely sad. One of the gayest gestures I've ever seen. 4,600 likes. I just posted the most viral liked ones. Hamzat, blink if you need help. Did he kidnap your family? That's not weird at all. Sold out. Why are you obsessed with this guy? Dang. Hamzat is a hostage right now. Honestly, so sad. Period. Sad face. So, yeah. Who knows what's going on with Hamzat? But if you look at his Instagram too, let me see. Like, look, him and this guy again. Yesterday, together with my dear brother, head of Czech Republic, hero of Russia, Ramzan Kadyrov, I visited the grand tournament. So he's just like kind of co-signing his fight league or something like that. I would like to immediately point out the high level of preparation, organization, and conduct of the tournament by the ASA League with our main fan and motivator, dear brother Ramzan. We were very pleased to watch the fights, cheered for our fighters, and received a charge of energy for a long time. When the head of the region personally comes to your fights and supports you, it gives you extra strength and motivation. It was obvious that all fighters approach this important event fully armed and with a high level of training. I would like to congratulate ASA League, the management, all the organizers, and fighters for another successful event, and good luck for the future, including the next tournament in Dubai. And then here's one other one. Dear brother, head of Czech Republic, hero of Russia. It's like, dude, what the hell on his birthday? Ramzan can and should be talked about for a very long time. He is a man who provides all kinds of help and attention to all industries in the region. So I don't want to read another Glaze fucking fest, but yeah, this is him wishing his mans a happy birthday. I wonder what... Yeah, see, even here, blink twice if you need help. He sold his soul. Honestly, I feel bad for Kamzat. He probably wants nothing to do with this dictator, but he is being forced to hang out with him. The way Hamzat praises Kadyrov is almost as if Kadyrov owns him or has his family threatened. He's being forced to call him daddy. Chama. So yeah, I mean, is there any more on here? See, these are the big ones. These are all the comments that it's loading up right now. So all the screenshotted ones I got. Bane says, what do you mean not guilty? We saw you do it on camera, bruh. Ah. That's right. Was finna make a joke, but I'm not trying to get taken out by the Chechen government. I know, right? Play it safe. Play it safe. You don't know how they control the internet. You got to be careful about what you say about you know, it starts with an I and ends with an L. I'll put it like that. You got to be careful what you say about them. You got to be careful what you say about Russia as well when it comes to Kadyrov and that other dude. Putin, right? Okay, so in other news, should we go over this real quick? I mean, what do you guys think? Share your opinions. It's a quick story, but I mean, we also touched on it on yesterday's stream if anybody watched the Wednesday podcast, but rest in peace Arturo Gatti Jr. This young man was training to be a boxer, passed away. 17 years old, man, following in his father's footsteps. He was found, you know what it is, right? He was found, bro, hung in a fucking apartment, man, in Mexico. They're not calling it a suicide. I think it's too soon to know, but yeah, I mean, you can't really make any assumptions right now. Oddly enough, I mean, let me just read the caption to you. I could read this probably better than I could say it. 17-year-old Arturo Gatti Jr. has passed away after he was discovered in an apartment in Mexico. Gatti Jr.'s death comes just 16 years after his father's mysterious passing in Brazil, where he was also found hanging in a hotel room by a purse strap. By the way, I didn't include that, but by a purse strap. I put, may Gatti Jr. find eternal peace next to his pops in heaven. So, yeah, man, super sad. People are obviously going to think to what Hawk is asking, wait, was it I don't want to say the word, or was he murdered? Yeah. People are obviously going to assume it was a S word, right? They're going to assume that he might have taken his own life. How about that? But I don't truly know. I don't truly know. And I think we shouldn't assume it yet. Let's just find out and see. But there's weird shit. Like people are going I saw one comment, I'm just going to say, and take it with a grain of salt. I'm just saying this is why you don't want to chalk it up to a taking his own life, because I saw another comment where they say he died the same way, investigate the mother. So I don't fucking know, dude. Just, that's why I just hold off on making any assumptions, because I guess there's arguments for multiple different possibilities here. Chuck Zito, who is actually Gotti Sr.'s bodyguard back in the day, he's the one who announced Arturo Gatti Jr.'s passing. So he says, "It's with a heavy heart that I have to say RIP to 17-year-old Arturo Gatti Jr., who was found hanging in an apartment in Mexico yesterday, the same way they found his father dead in an apartment in Brazil 16 years ago. My condolences to Arturo Gatti Sr.'s mom, sisters, brothers, and his daughter Sophia." Man. Brutal, right? Somebody says cartel. Cartel plus sports don't mix. Someone, unalived him and his dad. Suspicious. Mexico shit. Someone goes, if both were discovered, could it mean they were targeted, or is this just a horrendous tragedy? I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. The young man lived his whole life pretty much with, like, his dad. Think about it. 16 years after his dad was found, right? He was a 17-year-old kid, so he never really knew his father. So I don't know. That didn't happen to me, but I don't know why he would want to like it would make more sense if you were like 12 years old, right, and your father passed away due to this, and then you mimicked it. You did the same thing. That's just addressing what this comment asks, because that's what they're basically thinking. But the fact that he was 1 year old, I don't think he would like be so compelled. Like, he grew up his whole life without his father. You know, he never knew his father. So I don't think he would have like tried to do the same thing. Like, that wouldn't make sense. If you ask me, as far as like if you think he did it, that wouldn't make sense to me. Why would you do the same thing the way your father passed away? If you didn't, I mean, you obviously missed your father, but that's a certain extent. I'll say that. So I don't want to say he would have done that. That just leads to foul play, right? And shit, I hope it wasn't foul play. I don't know, but something had to have happened here. Something had to have happened. Also, former UFC fighter Suman Mokhtarian was shot dead in broad daylight in a suspected gangland hit while out for a walk in Sydney, Australia. This man also survived a hit last year. So, he went 0-2 in the UFC, but he was on The Ultimate Fighter and shit. He became a coach. This is an image of the shooting. So this is him, I believe. I don't know why they would have put these photos here if it wasn't. But yeah, this is from DT. I don't know the news article for that. Oh, Daily Telegraph. So it should be legit. Yeah, 17. 17, Bane. He seemed to be like... The fact that he was pretty established in boxing at 17, he was really going for it. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know why that happened to him. Hopefully some more details come out, though. That's all I can really say. Check out this guy. A little tribute here.
My name is Suman Mokhtarian. I'm 25 years old, and I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'm 8-0 as a professional mixed martial artist. I got my first taste of fighting through The Ultimate Fighter. I got a DVD bought to me by a friend. I checked it out, and it was the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, and I was pretty hooked from then. I didn't get into the sport until I was maybe 17 years old, when my brother had said he wanted to get into it.
That's a good.
I took him down to a local gym that I knew of, and just to kind of be closer to my brother, I started training as well. I had the passion for it, the knack for it, and it kind of just started from there.
That's it, see? Keep your distance.
Me and my brother own an Australian top team. It's a mixed martial arts academy. We've been open for 5 years now, and we're now one of the biggest gyms in Australia. We've got one of the most active fight teams. We're fighting all around the world, and we've got a great crew of fighters and a great crew of trainers as well.
That's it.
And I don't plan on losing. I plan on leaving the same way I came here, undefeated.
Yeah, so rest in peace to Suman as well.
Crew of fighters and a great...
Tragic. People kind of think he may have been involved in some organized crime, the fact that he was a target, but again, we don't know. We don't want to make assumptions, but it's kind of odd that he survived an attempt last year on his life. Then he got shot in broad daylight. It's kind of crazy. 33 years old. Another one, man. Another one. So young in his life, right? 33 is nothing. 33, you barely lived. I think he had kids too. I saw a picture of him with a couple kids. Oh man, if he had 2 sons, prayers up for the sons. Prayers up for the sons. Yeah, prayers to his family for sure. As we're making our way, might as well touch on this one because it's Charles Oliveira fight week. Charles Oliveira wants to fight McGregor at UFC White House, but it's nothing disrespectful. I didn't include this part of it in here because this whole press conference took place in Portuguese, so it was really hard for me to, and like he answered a follow-up question about calling out McGregor minutes later, and I couldn't catch it. So, but I did catch it later on from another article that posted about it. So this is a respectful call out, is what I'll say. Charles is respectfully calling out McGregor here. He has nothing against him. McGregor has praised him in the past, he says. Also, he's praised McGregor in the past. It's really just because he wants money. He's honest about it. He says, no, literally because he's the money fight. Not even saying like me versus Conor is the money fight. He's saying the money fight, because you're reading the headline right here. When he says the money fight, he's saying Conor's the money fight. Anybody should aim to fight Conor at UFC White House is what he's basically saying for the money. Here it is.
Casa Branca é um sonho ainda? Você pensa em lutar nela? O que você acha interessante essa proposta da luta lá? O que você diria?
Cara, acho que quando a gente fala sobre legado, acho que isso vai ser algo gigante. Por que não fazer uma grande luta lá? Né? Seria algo muito bom. Todo mundo acho que queria lutar lá. Então, se o UFC precisar de mim, eu vou estar pronto.
E uma luta que você desejaria fazer na Casa Branca?
Essa eu não gosto nem de falar. Né? Todo mundo sabe qual que seria a luta lá. Charles Oliveira e Conor McGregor. Essa seria a luta do dinheiro.
Now, is he backing down instantly after making that call out, you know, with what I just added to what he said? Or is he just being respectful? Because I don't know. He's like, you already know, me versus Conor. And then he's like, but it's all respect. It's like, stand on that shit, bro. Tell Conor, fuck you. That's how you get the fight with Conor. Excuse my French. Will Conor be able to fight at the UFC White House card? I'm going to go ahead and say no, Hawk. I'm going to go ahead and say no. I mean, is he ever coming back? He's probably never coming back, bro. I've been saying this. I think he should go fight in BKFC. It's going to be so hard for him to put together an MMA training camp, and it's almost unrealistic of us to even, like, expect that of him. Like, what the fuck, dude? Has he shown? Was the thing about him being suspended real? Yeah, the thing about him being suspended is real, Hawk. And what's even crazier is we don't believe that his pinky toe was ever broken. How about that? We believe he lied about his pinky toe. Hawk, if you didn't see the video I posted today, I already clipped it. But McGregor, he missed a drug test, right? On June 13th. Now, on June 13th, he claimed he pulled out of the Michael Chandler fight due to injury, due to breaking his big toe. The only person on record saying that he was lying was Chael Sonnen at the time, and he stood by that. Now, today, or on Tuesday, Chael was proved right. He was vindicated. Now, I know people might say, oh, well, that makes sense. Conor broke his pinky toe. And so, yeah, that's why he missed his drug test. He was probably at the hospital, and they showed up to his whereabouts, and they weren't able to locate him. Fuck no. Fuck no, that's not the case. Because, how about this? September 19th, July, August, September, 3 months later, he misses it, okay? And then September 20th, he misses it again, all right? And then not long after this, he pulled out of the, he exited the drug testing pool completely after 3 violations. So, no, Conor did not just miss it on June 13th because he broke his pinky toe. We believe he never broke his pinky toe. People are speculating he was going to test positive, if not for steroids, then for some type of narcotic, right? Cocaine, something. And he doesn't want it to be found, so he'd rather save his public image and pull out of the Chandler fight than to basically subject himself to a drug test and let that become public knowledge. So once again, we don't believe Conor ever broke his pinky toe. We don't believe it because there's no need. There's no need to even withdraw from the drug testing pool altogether. There's no need. You broke your toe, follow up with the drug tests, unless you got something to hide. Now, it's crazy that he had something to hide in September too. You know what I mean? Why didn't it get out of his system? Why is he still missing? September 19th, September 20th. This is 3 months removed. That's kind of odd, isn't it? 3 months removed, he still can't take a drug test. Someone explain that riddle to me. Give me a theory on that one. Why couldn't Conor... Like, they gave him so much time, right? Imagine skipping a drug test because you had some type of drug in your system, and you're clear for 3 months. You're clear for 3 months. They don't bother you for 3 months. And you still can't piss in a cup 3 months later? What the hell are you doing? And then, like I said, then you exit it. Then you exit the drug testing pool. Get out of here, bro. Man, he's just not the same. Yeah, he's not the same. Now I got a bunch of bookmarks. They're random as fuck, but we can get into... There's some good stories here. So first off, let's just cross this one off. Mohammed Mokaev got another fight booked. I mean, this guy's probably fought only a couple times since he left the UFC. Can't believe he's not re-signed to the UFC yet. But Gerard Burns, they're going to fight at Brave CF 100 on November 7th. So keep, I don't know, your calendars marked for this one, November 7th. About a month away. A little less than a month away. Obviously, you know the deal with Mokaev. Unless Burns, and he's from Ireland, so you can basically chalk it up a win for Mokaev. No offense to Ireland, but it's just the truth. Especially when you're going Russia versus Ireland. Let's be real. But yeah, Mokaev, he probably not taking an L, bro. He needs to get signed back to the UFC already. I mean, how many fights has he won since leaving? Seven 7-0 in UFC gets cut. That's crazy work. He won 1 karate combat fight, and he's won 2 MMA fights. Last fought in June. So, you know, he's pacing himself. He's not going crazy, but December, June, next one in November. He'll get 2 in this year. Hopefully get signed back to the UFC and fucking, I don't know. Maybe he could get signed to the UFC and fill something in December. That'd be dope for him. Win this fight in November 7th. Then fill in, maybe if the UFC needs him, with a month's notice. You got the UFC Tampa card, and then you got a numbered card too in September. UFC always does the fight night in Tampa, right? In December. So maybe he can get signed to a fight night card in December, or the numbered card in December. MSG, you know, Mokaev's a good filler for MSG in November, but that's too soon, right? That's too soon. He needs to return in November or in 2026 to the UFC. Yuri Prohaska hitting a fucking 440-pound squat is crazy. Now, the depth wasn't all the way there. I'm going to let you guys know that right now. But he hit this. This is after the fight. He says, okay, now is preparation finished. We left our last strength training because it was too close to the fight. So today, finally, I can say, yes, we did it. So, yeah, after the fight, he just hit a 440-pound squat. It is insane. He doesn't go down all the way, but it's pretty fucking good. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It could have been a little bit deeper. We all know that. But it was pretty good. So shout out to Yuri for that 440-pound squat post-kilo Roundtree knockout after a 3-round war is crazy. This man's built different, bro. No PEDs too is crazy. Not even a week removed from the fight. Oliveira making a turnaround 3 months and 14 days after getting nuked. Yes, he is, but I mean, it's against, what's his name? I mean, Fiziev would have been a tougher fight for Oliveira, to be honest with you, because Fiziev is a striker. This is against Gamrot, no biggie. What's Gamrot going to do to Charles Oliveira's chin? Are we fucking kidding right now? Like, I know that this is a funny headline, or I know that it, you know, it makes sense, but not if you just consider the type of opponent that Charles is fighting. Matthews Gamrot is not going to do shit to Charles's chin. And newsflash, I don't even know if Gamrot's got the grappling to contend with a Charles Oliveira. Are you fucking kidding me right now? You guys saw how, what's his name, looked against Dan Hooker, right? Gamrot looked against Dan Hooker. Let's not forget who Charles Oliveira is now. Submission ace specialist. Fought them all, okay? The level of competition Charles has faced, Gamrot could be a walk in the park for him. I only say that to say that this 3 months and 14 days basically means nothing anymore. The fact that he's fighting Gamrot, a wrestler. A picture-perfect matchup for Charles. I know that Charles lost to Arman and Gamrot beat Arman, but styles make fights. Styles make fights. And I think that Arman's style is tougher to face than a Gamrot, even though Gamrot beat Arman. Bane says Charles is going to get a sub off his back. Something, right? I could see Charles jumping Gilly. I mean, off a takedown attempt. All right. And I think it's important we discuss this. So, obviously, let's just give the full context here. So, last week, Yuri Prohaska revealed Carlos Ulberg turned him down for UFC Perth, okay? So, Yuri said this. He goes, I really don't care what Ulberg wants. I want to, right now, to go through Khalil and go for the title. That's all I can say. He, Ulberg, already had the chance to face me, and I wanted to go to Australia to fight him, and he declined that. So, what can I say? Right now, biggest challenge is every time to be the champion, every time to be a champion, and then you can watch the others. What is the next challenge? I see one of the guys who will win this weekend. It's really hard reading Yuri's broken English, but that was the situation. Prohaska was like, nah, I'm not interested in like Ulberg if I get a win this weekend because Ulberg turned me down. Now we've all been dying to know why Ulberg turned him down. Even one of the comments here, I pinned it, but it was like, Ulberg respond to the duck allegations. Yeah. Carlos Ulberg respond to the duck allegations. So, he did. Ulberg did. And it's right here. Ariel asked him. I think it's better to read the quote first so you guys have a little bit of an idea. So let me read the quote first. Ulberg responds to Yuri's claims that he turned down the fight. It wasn't as Yuri had put it where I was trying to avoid him or denied the fight. I pushed it because I had an injury and I didn't expect UFC to tell him that, which was all good. Considering it was a dangerous fight against someone, we had to do a lot of thinking before we took that fight. We wanted to push that fight with Yuri to November. Okay? So he says that he turned down the Yuri fight because he had an injury and he wanted to push it to November. However, he still fucking fought Dominic Reyes and said yes to Dominic Reyes for October. Not even October. For September. End of September. Right? So he wanted to push the Yuri fight back from September 7th to November. But then he was down to accept the Dominic Reyes fight in September. So he's really saying, like, Yuri's too tough to fight with this injury, but Dominic Reyes isn't too tough to fight. Is that really what his logic was? I mean, clearly it was, right? Clearly it was. Because people are saying, this makes no sense. Why would you sign to fight Dominic Reyes? And I think it's because he was like, I could fight Dominic with the injury. I can't fight Yuri with the injury. So it's interesting. It's an interesting logic. Let's play the clip already.
Order. Obviously, you had the big win a week prior. Can we clear up one thing regarding Yuri? Yuri says that he was offered to fight you in Perth, and he's claiming you turned it down. And I think your team has a different side of the story because I did hear from Ash about this, but I wanted to ask you your side. What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as Yuri had put it, where I was trying to avoid him or denied the fight. It was I pushed it because I had an injury, and I didn't expect UFC to tell him that, which was all good.
Subtle irritation from him there. I'm not going to interrupt this again, but I do want to say, I think it's just communication. Like, Yuri didn't know that he had an injury and shit, right? I think the UFC was just like, we offered you, like, do you want to fight Olberg in Perth, right? And then they came to Olberg and they're like, do you want to fight Yuri in Perth? And then Yuri goes, yes, I'll fight Olberg in Perth. Send the contract. And then Olberg goes, no. So then, well, Olberg actually goes, no, we want to fight him in November, right? So of course Yuri's going to get word of that, because this is actually also what happened. Olberg's about to reveal it. After Olberg said, no, I'd rather fight Prohaska in November, UFC went back to Prohaska and said, would you like to fight Olberg in November? And Prohaska's management said, no, we want to fight in October to be on the same timeline to fight the winner of the light heavyweight title fight. So that's why Prohaska was keen on fighting Olberg, right, end of September at UFC Perth, because that was the week before the title fight. So he was down with that. That aligned with him. So of course there's going to be communication. Like, what do you mean that he wasn't expecting the UFC to tell Prohaska that? I don't think the UFC told Prohaska you were injured, for the record. I think the UFC told Prohaska exactly what you asked, which is, are you down to fight Olberg in November? But again, I don't know. Sometimes they just try to make themselves seem like, you know, the victim in the situation, but I'm just pointing it out. And, you know, Olberg, shout out to this handsome man, but at the end of the day, you know, you could be a handsome devil all you want. Like, we got to call a spade a spade.
I had an injury, and I asked if we could push it back to November, because that'll give me enough time to rehab my injury and get back and be able to go back to the drawing board, start from the ground up again. Considering it was a dangerous fight against someone where I didn't really need to, you know, I'm trying to look to go forward in the end, especially coming off an 8-fight win streak at the time.
I'm just trying to figure this out. A dangerous fight against someone that I didn't really need to, what? Fight? Finish that sentence, Olberg. That you really didn't need to fight? Because, what, you just said it, you're trying to move forward. Bro, Yuri is the guy who's been the champion. He's been in all the title fights. What are you talking about? He's coming off a knockout over Jamal Hill. Like, these guys have been in the title conversation, even Jamal Hill, despite his losses. We don't give a fuck about... I know we care about Dominic Reyes' 3-fight winning streak, but, like, Yuri Prohaska's out here knocking out Jamal Hill, coming off of that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about when you say you were looking to fight ahead. You took the Dominic Reyes fight. Like, that's not what looking to fight ahead. And I just got to say it before I forget, okay? You were injured and you want to push it back to November, right? Because Yuri was too tough. However, Dominic Reyes apparently wasn't too tough. You were down to fight Dominic Reyes with your injury. So you still haven't rehabbed the shit. You just said you want to rehab it, right? To fight Yuri. You didn't do the rehab because you got ready to fight Dominic Reyes. And not only did you do that, but then I know it was a first round knockout, but you have an injury that you still haven't rehabbed apparently, that you went through the training camp with. And you're campaigning to be a backup, make weight, and potentially step in the octagon a week later against the real champions, but you wouldn't fight Yuri at UFC Perth. You needed to push that back a month. Like, bro, this shit don't make sense at all. The more I listen to you, it don't make sense at all. What are you talking about? Like, your actions aren't backing up your words here. How can you go through the training camp without rehabbing your injury against Dominic Reyes, then be down to turn around a week later and potentially step in the cage against a tougher opponent than Yuri in theory? Because Prohaska knocked him out twice. Pereira knocked him out twice. And then Ankh beat Pereira. So what are you talking about? How are you not too injured to fight these guys? Obviously, I know you're thirsty for the title shot, but dude, that ain't the way to go about it.
You want to be going forward. So it was we had to do a lot of thinking before we took that fight. And we wanted to push that fight with Yuri to November. He didn't want to. He didn't take that, so he wanted to fight earlier so that he could be in line for this title fight between Uncle Live and Pereira. Yeah, so we as a team had to think about it, and it being such a big fight on this side of the world, and the fact that it was such a big risk fighting Reyes on a 3-fight KO win streak.
Now he's gonna sell it to us that fucking Reyes was a bigger risk than Prohaska. Like, dude, you're not making sense at all. If Reyes was a bigger risk than Prohaska, then why did you take that one? Like, dude, what are you talking about? Everything that Yuri said, this man just basically was like, yeah, Yuri has kept it a buck with everything, right? I didn't want to fight him. Yuri wanted to be in line for a title shot. Like, Yuri's making demands that make sense. When Yuri says, I don't want to fight Olberg in November because I want to be on the timeline to fight the winner of the upcoming title fight, right? That makes sense for turning him down. That makes a lot of fucking sense. I might have even given Olberg the benefit of the doubt as far as turning down a tougher opponent in Yuri and asking for it, or not turning it down, right? But asking for the date to be pushed back, right? Asking for the date to be pushed back. I could almost accept that, being like, no, I'm too injured. Let me get an easier opponent. Like, I can pretty much accept that. That's fine. But you are contradicting the fuck out of yourself. And even just now, you just got done saying that Dominic Reyes was apparently a tougher opponent. You know, Prohaska, he wasn't the guy to propel you to a title shot, which makes no fucking sense. Like, you're saying all these things. Then you say you're down to make weight again a week after your Dominic Reyes fight, after you didn't rehab your injury that you wanted to take time to rehab to fight Prohaska in November. And you wanted to do that to fight a tougher opponent in Pereira or Ankalaev than Prohaska. Think about all of that mental gymnastics. I know that was like, you know, you might have to fucking hit the 10 seconds back button. But that's the mental gymnastics this man just put himself through. And he's putting all of us through it right now, trying to figure this shit out. Meanwhile, Prohaska just said straight up, yes, I'll fight him. And no, I won't fight him later than the date you're offering. Because Prohaska was probably like, see, this is the thing. I'll say this one last thing. Prohaska probably approached the UFC and said, I'm looking to fight around this time. Like, this time frame. Give me an opponent. I'm ready to go. Like, end of September, to October, let's run something. And so the UFC got it cooking. Now, when Prohaska went ahead and did that, Olberg can't go ahead and change his plans. So this was always Prohaska's plan. You know, it's not a coincidence that Prohaska fought on the same card. Not at all. This is pretty much done, but there's like 9 seconds left. Let's see if there's any more buffoonery.
And yeah, I thought that this would definitely be a key moment for us. We had to rise to the occasion.
That's crazy, brother. That's crazy. That's crazy. See, someone goes, lying ass handsome bitch. It's true though, bro. You lying ass motherfucker. Like, what the hell are you lying for? Like, that was a crazy fucking 2 minutes and 20 seconds of listening to you, Olberg. Making our way down the timeline here. We got Kermel Moten. Young Buck needs to be more active. I'm going to keep it real. Young Buck definitely needs to be more active. But look at this. 233K views. Like, young superstar in boxing. It's a shame that he only has 2 fights this year. Is this not going to load right now? We got an internet outage. Alright, I guess we'll just come back to that. Justin Tafa is out of the UFC. Seems like he's been released. This guy was a fucking nightmare from the start. Nightmare from the start. We've been through it with him. I'll show you how many fights he pulled out of and all that. But actually, I bet you MMA Fighting will give you the context. But this is the quote from Justin Tafa. Taking time out of this fight game. The body and mind needs time to recover. 6 major surgeries in the last 3 years does that to you. Time to enjoy the other fruits of life for now and enjoy watching my kids grow. Thank you, UFC. Had some good times in there. God willing, if I return to fight again, I will be a lot healthier and able to show you my true potential. If not, then God has something else planned in store for me. I appreciate all the support and love. You guys pushed me on when I thought I couldn't. What a ride. So people are speculating he's suggesting he got cut. I wouldn't have speculated that from reading it, but that's what people are saying. And this comes after... oh yeah, so it says a person with knowledge of the promotion's plans confirmed to MMA Fighting that Tafa was released after he was scratched from UFC Perth following an illness during the event's official weigh-ins. So, you know, he be talking about, you know, surgeries and shit like that, but he be pulling out due to illness. Like, what are we talking about? Again, these guys with their excuses that don't even link up with each other. So here, Tafa went 4-5 with 1 no contest during his UFC tenure and became the first fighter in history to miss weight for a heavyweight bout in 2021. All Tafa's victories ended by knockout. And just to go into Tafa, pretty much, I don't want to, like, it's too much to, like, you know, fuck it, we're just going to do it, bro. Tafa illness, okay? Tafa withdrew. Tafa withdrew. Tafa injury. Tafa withdrew. Tafa withdrew. Tafa withdrew. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 canceled bouts on this man's behalf, and 1 missed weight too. So, I mean, I wish you the best, Justin Tafa, but you didn't take your career seriously at all. Like, I don't even feel entirely that bad. Like, I could only care as much as you cared. Like, missing weight and shit like that. Like, even when you do show up, it's just, like, sloppy and shit. All right, so Mike Tyson says he would never...
You in your prime, you would have been a UFC...
Mike Tyson says he would never fight for Daddy Dana. He says that Daddy Dana don't pay enough money. Mike Tyson wants to be one of the most high-paid athletes in the world when he was in his prime, and the UFC just doesn't provide that kind of money. He says he would never fight in the UFC, even in his prime. Let's see Mike Tyson. All that Ali Act talk, all that shit, all that, oh, you know, the UFC's better because, you know, we dish out the money and Jim Miller made $1 million. That's always what Dana White says. Oh, come on. Here's Mike Tyson keeping it a buck.
You in your prime, you would have been a UFC fighter or something like that.
Because then listen, the biggest UFC, 5 of the biggest UFC fighters combined couldn't match my pay.
Oh.
That's just
it wasn't worth the pay.
No, I want to be the biggest fighter, the biggest purse. I want all that stuff. When Mike Tyson fights, he shuts everything down. The biggest purse.
That's it.
That's right. The biggest fights, the biggest purses. You know where it is. It's in boxing. It's in boxing. One more time.
You in your prime, you would have been a UFC fighter or something like that.
Because then listen, the biggest UFC, 5 of the biggest UFC fighters combined couldn't match my pay.
Oh.
That's just
it wasn't
5 of the biggest combined. Where's the photo?
Oh. Oh.
Sorry. 5 of the biggest combined couldn't match this dude's pay. And I don't even think Masvidal's in there. But definitely these 4. Bro, how is Masvidal the 5th? Is he really? So there's this MMA reporter. I mean, I don't want to give this guy too much clout, but we might as well. His name is Rush Hour Fight Club, and he's like, you know, one of these MMA accounts. And he's a child predator, bro. This dude actually follows me. But yeah, Rush Hour Fight Club. This guy goes, I've been informed of there being a predator in the combat sports community. YouTuber Rush Hour Fight Club, real name Jordan Hawley, was arrested and charged in a operation intending to sexually abuse a 9-year-old girl. He also admitted to assaulting a 10-year-old previously. This is his Instagram. What is this? I double checked to find out if the name matched because he never previously used his real name on his channel, and I found his mom's account and her confirming he is in fact Jordan Hawley of Maryland. So this is his mom's account that he's following. I look at this picture and realize that Jordan is clearly an amalgamation of his dad and me, clearly. Oh shoot, so this is the dude. This is Rush Hour Fight Club. Damn. Forgot to mention his LinkedIn account matches. Let me see. It says, forgot to mention his LinkedIn account matches up his age, address, and phone number with the court document, so it's undoubtedly him. For those who may think it's a case of mistaken identity. And here's the court documents. United States of America, by and through its attorney, submits this memorandum in support of its request that defendant Jordan Hawley be detained pending trial of this matter pursuant to 18, whatever that is, on September 10th, 2025. So that was last month. Mr. Hawley traveled from Maryland to the District of Columbia intending to sexually abuse a 9-year-old girl. Disgusting. Mr. Hawley was arrested and has been charged by criminal complaint with violating Title 18, United States Code Section 2423B, travel with intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct. There is no condition or combination of conditions that will reasonably assure the safety of children in the community, both in the physical world and online. If Mr. Hawley is released, as detailed below, an analysis of the factors set forth in 18 U.S.C. 3142 leads to the conclusion that detention is the only way to protect children in the community and to ensure the defendant's future appearance. Damn, so he's locked up right now, and they're keeping him behind bars until he can get a conviction. He's a danger to the children. That's disgusting. On Thursday, August 28, an FBI task force working with the Washington field office was acting in an undercover capacity as part of the Metropolitan Police Department Federal Bureau of Investigation Child Exploitation Task Force, operating out of a satellite office in Washington, D.C. In that capacity, the UC entered a fetish. Oh my goodness. What the hell is going on here? Damn, this is getting wild. Look at this, butt plugs and shit like that. What the fuck? Bro, butt plugs is crazy. A mask? Is that a thong or something? What the hell's going on here? A ring? Rubbers, lube? Dude, this dude was about to have a field day on this 10-year-old. On this 9-year-old. Lock this man up and throw away the fucking key. Investigators conducted a custodial interview, and Mr. Hawley waived his Miranda rights. During the interview, Mr. Hawley advised that he traveled from Maryland to Washington to meet with the UC. Mr. Hawley admitted to arranging to travel to Washington to meet the UC, and his purported 9-year-old child and have vaginal intercourse with the child. However, Mr. Hawley stated that the sexually exploitive conversation and meeting was essentially a ruse. Mr. Hawley claimed he wanted to learn more about the UC and then contact law enforcement to, yeah, fucking right, dude. What's all this? What's all that? This is the text messages. The following is a portion, the text messages sent between the UC and Mr. Hawley. UC, yes, not fantasy, right? Hawley, correct, real life. I have experience with daughters and fathers. You found the right bull for the job. Oh my god, dude. You sick motherfucker. Okay, any age limits before we discuss? My girl not trying to get caught up. No, sir. Only a number for me. Damn, he's talking to a dude. That's weird as fuck. Talking to a dude. You're not even talking to the girl. You're talking to a dude who apparently has the girl. You're sick in the fucking head, bro. And you have no conscience. I mean, there's a line. There's a fucking line where I say you have no conscience, and that's a pretty far line. Like, if you cheat on your girl, whatever the case, Conor McGregor, I think you still got a conscience. You know what I mean? This, where you are, like, partaking in child sex trafficking knowingly, talking to a male, bro, you have no fucking conscience. Fuck yeah, we are very like-minded. Perfect. I understand wanting to be careful. Most wouldn't do this, but I'm a special bull. One for families. Even when divorced, a father deserves to know how his daughter handles cock. What the fuck, dude? Well, to be honest, she plays with mine and had an old college buddy in town about 6 months ago and loved watching her essing his. Mr. Hawley, that's real hot. A true good daughter. Is she a verge or has that been taken care of? As the chat continues, the UC asks Mr. Hawley, what's the youngest you've been with? Mr. Hawley replied, interesting. Want to watch me rub mine against her puffy? Maybe she can lose it to a BBC like a real good girl. Age 10. The UC stated to Mr. Hawley, okay. Intercourse and sexual activity with the UC's purported daughter. Do you see him? Oh my god, so he's thinking that this is the guy's daughter or something. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. It's getting worse. Hawley thought that this girl he was talking to the girl's father. The UC and Mr. Hawley had a conversation on the phone confirming details of their meetup. Mr. Hawley confirmed that he would be traveling to the UC's residence on September 4th, 2025 at 11 a.m. to engage in intercourse with the UC's purported daughter. Disgusting. However, Mr. Hawley subsequently rescheduled the meeting to September 10th. A week later, Mr. Hawley was identified using law enforcement databases. The phone number was associated with Jordan Hawley, born on blank 1991, and numerous law enforcement citations and databases. So he's been arrested for multiple prior traffic citations from the Baltimore County Police Department. The phone number Mr. Hawley provided in connection with those citations was blank. According to law enforcement databases, Hawley currently resides at blank Hanwell Road, Randallston, Maryland. This is consistent with Feet Addict 202, indicating his location was in Maryland. What the hell? He's a foot addict. I guess you could do your thing. I ain't judging. Owings Mill is approximately a 10-minute drive from Randallston, Maryland. Wow. Wow, I can't believe that. So that's that as far as this sexual assault case. So in whatever you want to call it, moral of the story, don't follow Rush Hour MMA Club. The guy's a pedophile. He's a pedo. To run through a couple brief topics, just quickly. Yana Santos, apparently her opponent missed weight, right? And the UFC said she would be severely punished if she refused to fight her opponent. Crazy. Crazy. It should totally be the fighter's decision with whether they want to fight a guy who missed weight or not. But I guess I see the UFC's argument a little bit, depending on how much they missed weight by. A couple fights ago, when my opponent missed a lot of weight and we were thinking, should we take the fight or not, UFC made it very clear that the person who will be punished is me if I refuse to fight. If I want to keep my job, I have to fight. That's crazy. Teofimo versus Pacquiao could be a thing. I think we'll end it on this.
Manny Pacquiao.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just because we were discussing this before you hopped on, before I kind of take it back a little bit, you were talking a little bit about an upcoming fight that we can expect. What can you tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, next big fight that we're speaking on, there's two in particular. If one doesn't go through, we have another fight going on. So December 13th is possibly between Manny Pacquiao.
Wow.
Yeah, the likes of him, that'll be great. And then Shakur Stevenson in January of 2026.
So when you think about Manny as a competitor, just thinking about that fight, what's your overall impression of that possibility and what it could bring?
It's legendary. Honestly, just on my behalf, just getting in the ring with him, it's a privilege. Honestly, it's an honor too. So being able to be there, the Filipinos, they're massive in the sport. They love boxing as it is, and just overall being able to train with Manny for a little bit, in his before he fought Mario Barrios for the world title, being able to see him, interact with him. He's a very humbling person, but more than that, that guy is a real life Rocky Balboa. He's real life Rocky. So to be there, that would be awesome. Face with him.
For sure. I hope that.
So yeah, January 24th, Pacquiao versus Tio. I mean, shit, Pacquiao still got it. Why not? I'd be down to see Pacquiao versus Tio, but I wish we could see some more of these premier matchups. Haney, Tio, Shakur, Tank, Ryan. All these guys should have been fought already. Fought each other already. It's a shame that they haven't. And I know Pacquiao's a big name, but it's like, come on, bro. After Pacquiao, no more fucking around. We want to see Shakur. We want to see these fights. Quit playing. DC says Alex Pereira is the GOAT if he beats John Jones at heavyweight. And fucking I agree. You beat John Jones, especially with all those accolades, you're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. No belt on the line, though. It would be crazy if he could become a 3-division champion. That would be insane. The first to ever do it. They should find a way to get a belt on the line. Let John run it with Tom Aspinall before UFC White House next year. Let John get that belt off Aspinall, hopefully. Or no, and then let Pereira fight the winner of that one. The winner of Jones versus Aspinall. Because if Aspinall beats Jones, he's going to become a decently big star too. But then we don't have an American headline in UFC White House, so fuck it. There's a lot to it, boys. Should we check the feed one more time before we sign off?
Marab in the gym, it's really hard.
We'll come up to that. Let me just... Yeah, that's all there is. Oh. That's dope. Floyd Mayweather's grandson KGA has officially started training for boxing. The start of my son's story, a legend in the making. Yaya Mayweather posted this. It's very cool. Very cool. Excited. This is NBA Youngboy's son too. Excited to see what this young buck can do. That's crazy. He been training too for a long time. Since he's a fucking infant, bro. Training with Floyd. And he got them hands for sure. Okay, let's watch this one.
It's really hard to say that he's any different in the gym than he is in the cage.
Really?
I promise you this is a 100% true story. At 12 o'clock in the afternoon on fight day, Saturday, October 4th, Merab sparred 5 rounds in the cage, live, on the day of his fight. Because that's just who he is.
That's unreal.
Yes.
It's 5 full live rounds.
5 full live rounds at 12 o'clock, not even half a day before he has to be in the arena to put on the biggest fight of his career. That's just him. You cannot make it up. So to be around that, I mean, it's just another experience. You know, most guys will sit in the hotel room or try to collect their thoughts or do whatever, you know, maybe even get like a bike ride in on the assault bike to kind of burn some energy. I've never in my life seen somebody spar 5 full rounds the day that they have to fight and go do another 5 full rounds with Cody Sanhagen. So like, yeah, it's just, he's a different breed.
That is actually insane. That's actually insane. 5 fucking rounds? Like, I could understand 2 to 3 just to like blow out your lungs real quick and get that feel so you don't get shocked when you're pushing the pace in the middle of the fight. But 5? And then you push a pace like that against Corey, not getting tired at all. Merab has some crazy cardio. Honestly, bro. Merab's got insane cardio. Khalil Roundtree also doesn't look that bad from that knockout loss to Pereira. Maybe this eye is fucked up, and this is the good profile, but he don't look that bad. He just got a little cut on his nose. Merab sparring 5 rounds is actually crazy, though. That man's a... And then he wants to fight in, what, December? The nickname The Machine is the most fitting ever. He's like a fucking robot. There ain't no stopping him. I know Pereira's been rocking these pants for a hot minute, but everybody's roasting him for it now. Even this like furry jacket, which ain't that bad, but these pants are terrible. On his motorcycle, this guy.
Some energy. I've never in my life seen.
These trousers are probably trending on Twitter. All right, boys, that's the stream. That's the stream. Hour 20-minute stream. Shout out everybody who tuned in. Like the stream. I think we're gonna do a bunch of days in a row. I think so. We're like since Tuesday, I believe Tuesday. I've been doing a stream every day since Tuesday, and I think all month long, the rest of October. Streams every day. Live streaming every day till the end of October. For the boys. So yeah. Live streaming I think every day until the end of October. Every single day. We might end up doing like a full month of streaming. Because what was the date that I started on this streak? I've been wanting to do this for a minute. So yeah, I started the streak on the 7th. So we could even go to November 7th. Streams every day till November 7th, or at least till the end of October. I'm booking it. Now the time, should we discuss the time when I'll be coming on here? I think at the latest I'm gonna have to be coming on here at 9 p.m. Pacific sometimes. Sometimes later, sometimes maybe even like close to midnight Pacific. But I'm gonna try to lock in maybe around like 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock on most evenings. 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific start time. So yeah, everybody watching right now, I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably 5, 6 p.m. Pacific. And if not, then you know I'm going to be here later in the evening because the stream got to get done. We're doing a streak till the end of October. So yeah, if you don't see me on live around 5 or 6 p.m., you can count on the live coming around, you know, from 9, anywhere from 9 to 11 p.m. All right, boys, peace out. Make sure to like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Shout out Hawk. Shock was here from start to finish. W Hawk, my boy Hawk. W stream, W Hawk. All right, peace out, boys. Hopefully some juicy news tomorrow.